Healthy for me is, lots of veggies, lots of fiber.
Healthy for me is hitting your macro.
For me is a well-balanced plate.
So what is up, guys? For my healthy Filipino dish, I'm gonna be making laswa. So laswa is a soup that's close to my heart. It's something that my lola always makes when we're sick, when the weather's cold, and it has a really special place in my heart. And it's one of my lola's favorites when she wants a really quick, healthy pick-me-up, because she's from Bacolod and she loves this stuff. So I got here about 1/8 of a squash, which personally I'm gonna use all of it because I'm a big fan of squash. So I'm gonna start cutting and portioning it. One reason why I really like this dish is because, it's really clean. Clean in the sense that it's a clean finish in your mouth. So I'm just gonna cut, not too thick, and make sure that I still have sort of a bite. Damn, these tomatoes just keep rolling around, huh? My lola always makes hers with okra and saluyot. Now, both of them give a slimy texture to your soup. I'm making this in her recipe, but personally, I would just choose one or the other because they both give a slimy texture. If you don't like the slimy texture, you can completely take it away, but we're sticking to what lola knows, so we'll just cut this in half. So a really quick disclaimer is, of course, this may not be the traditional way of making laswa. Some of you guys may make it differently, and maybe I am butchering the recipe, give or take, but this is how I grew up making it. This is how my grandmother would make it. My lola would always say you can add more water, depends on how soupy you want it. Of course, we're adding okra and saluyot, so it's gonna get slimier, and you can kind of adjust from there. Bring that to a nice simmer. I'm gonna put a lid on it just so that it traps the heat better and it boils faster. So from here, I can take the lid off. I'm gonna add the squash since of course it takes a little more time. Let that boil with the soup. Okay, ha, bada bing, bada boom. Now that's boiling and you know what's up. Now I'm gonna check on my squash if it's tender with the fork. Now it's a little tender already. That just means that you want to put all the other vegetables. Like I said, it's all about timing. You want to put all your other vegetables in. You don't want to thoroughly cook the squash yet, just so that it's not overcooked once everything else is properly cooked. So I'm going to put in my sitaw, give that a little stir. That should take just a little bit of time. And then I'm going to add in my eggplants, which is my personal favorite of this dish. All right, now that we have brought this to its second boil, we are gonna add the finishing touches, such as our okra. So that's our okra, our saluyot. Give that a little mix. And from here, we can start seasoning to taste with patis and salt. Some salt. And that's the color I want. Little translucent, little yellowish from that squash, and the vegetables are just cooked enough to give you that bite. Still got a crunch to it. Get some of that soup. Really nice and comforting. You get that sweet punch from some of that squash. You get a little fishiness from that shrimp. And since we season it with patis, you get a little bit of that umami. Classic Filipino flavors. Clean vegetables, all just boiled down in all its glory. And just what I'd like to call the perfect soup for a sick or rainy day in my house.
My dish is Ginataang Puso ng saging. The reason why I chose this dish is because I personally love anything ginataan. From ginataang kalabasa, laing, and langka, which is from Visayas where I'm from. So let's start. So first, we are gonna be chopping up our banana heart. What makes banana heart healthy for you? It has iron, fiber, and antioxidants, which is really good for the body. So now let's chop the stem up and cut it into two. Now we've chopped up all of our banana hearts. We're gonna be putting it aside, and let's ready our bowl with water plus salt. The reason for this is para hindi mag-brown yung banana heart and to remove the sap, yung bitter sap na meron yung banana heart. And salt. Let's put in our banana hearts and let it sit for around 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, now it has been 10 minutes. It's time to rinse our banana heart. We will ready another bowl, then put water in. So gagawin natin is pipigain lang yung banana heart, then transfer it. To remove excess water, we should drain it 3 times. At ngayon, oras na para magluto. Maglagay tayo ng konting oil, tapos maglagay tayo ng ating aromatics, which is garlic and onion. So now let's add our protein. I chose pork loin para less fat and mas lean. Let's wait for it to cook for about 5 to 10 minutes. Now our pork is all cooked. We will be adding fish sauce for seasoning, just a little bit. And now it's time to add our banana hearts. So we'll wait for it to soften for about 3 to 5 minutes. So for my favorite part, let's add our gata. Gata is essential for those healthy fats that we need to retain a healthy body. Go lang sa gata. We love our gata. Some chili peppers, which are high in vitamin C, A. We will let this simmer for about 15 to 20 minutes and we're done. Now it's time to taste our creation. Let's take everything in a bite. The banana hearts smells so good. I'm so excited. You have everything in the bowl. You have protein, carbohydrates, vitamins. Perfect. Perfect.
Sinigang na bangus. Slice some tomatoes into wedges. So, dalawa yung pampaasim natin dito. It's gonna be my tomatoes. It's not too ripe. Of course, kung gusto nyo yung very ripe, that's good too. Wala nang gisa-gisa to, dire-diretso tayo dito. It should be very easy to. So, sinigang, very basic. Yung pinaka-mabango na natin dito talaga is yung sibuyas. Ako, mas gusto ko yung red. Mas gusto ko yung native, sibuyas Tagalog. Active natin sa sinigang na to is very healthy. Zero oil. Again, kung okay lang naman sa inyo na medyo may mantika sa diet, you can add like a tablespoon or 2. Gisa natin yung sibuyas kamatis. Pero ako, diretso tubig na. Sampalok, stop. So, again, hindi ko kayo i-judge kung gumamit kayo ng sinigang mix. Gusto natin dito maasim. So, before I put in my fish, antayin ko lang siya uminit pa ng onte. Alright, so healthy. Hindi tayo nag-oil, hindi tayo nag-isa. And the healthiest part is the protein that we're gonna use. It's bangus or milkfish. So the good thing about milkfish is it has high protein content. Like per 100 grams, you get around 21 grams of protein. So good for the muscle boys and girls out there. And it also has omega-3 fatty acids. It's the healthy kind of fat that helps with your heart and stuff. And masarap yung merong makapal-kapal na taba ng onte, di ba? Tanda ako pa nung panahon ng At this point, luto na yung bangus. Bugbog sarado ng ating onions and kamatis. I'll just turn off the heat. I'll add my kangkong. Again, mas maraming kangkong, mas maganda. Kasi you get 3 major vitamins from it. Iron, magnesium, and loads of calcium. I dedicate this to you, Frodo and friends. Bango. Den. Mamahal ng ganito. It's great because the protein that you use, again, it's packed with minerals, vitamins. yun nga, protein content is super high. Yung ginamit mong kangkong, yung sabaw mismo, napakasarap. I mean, it's healthy and it's very delicious too.
So the healthy dish we are gonna be making today is Papis. So Papis is actually a dish from Mindanao that uses beef, beans, and some sort of tomato sauce. Most of the time, when Filipinos think about healthy stuff, we think greens and vegetables and all the micronutrients. But sometimes, we often neglect the macronutrients. Ano ba yung mga macronutrients, chef? Macronutrients are your protein, carbs, and fat. So these are essential to give you a long-lasting and filling stomach all throughout the day. Yeah. So currently, I'm on a fat loss cycle. I'm really trying hard to lose weight, to be able to be healthy. And this meal is what I think is gonna help me in the long run. I was using a cooking spray from earlier. 0 calories per spray. Ganda. All right. So now, we are gonna add the beef. So naturally, yung taba ng beef ay magdadagdag din ng flavor. Do not be afraid of animal fat. Maybe this is your pinch of salt, but my pinch of salt is this. I actually enjoy eating healthy food that is, again, rich in protein, carbs, and fat. And since we add in our water, just enough to kind of make a quick braise, then we're just gonna let this go for about an hour or until the beef is really tender. Now that our sauce is kind of thick, it is now time to serve. Very tender. Maximum flavor. Again, healthy food should be flavorful. That's the only way to achieve longevity in everything.
We're gonna be making Tortang Repolyo. This veggie pack omelet has been a staple for me, and it's super quick to make and is only under 50 pesos.
I've actually had quite a journey with my relationship with food. I was diagnosed with PCOS when I was in high school, and it has been a years of battle for me. I've really struggled with my diet. I've struggled trying to maintain eating healthy. For years now, I've actually started healing my relationship with food and healing my relationship with my diet. One thing that I find that is actually pretty helpful is that I approach dieting as to not being restrictive when it comes to food. So I don't want to label food as good food or bad food, but my main goal is now to nourish my body and just to enjoy the process and enjoy cooking your meals, enjoying your food. Because for me, that's what makes it sustainable in the long run. I enjoy my food, I eat better, at the same time, I get to also be healthy and I get to be nutritious. First, we have here our cabbage. Then to that, we are gonna add some onions, some garlic. This is optional, but I actually love to add some shredded carrots. I'm gonna give this a quick mix. You will then add in our eggs, some flour, some salt, and some pepper. Now we're gonna add oil to our pan. I also like to give it a gentle press.
to try it first without the banana ketchup. Ooh, there's a nice blend of the soft and crispy texture. The cabbage has softened just enough, but it still has that bite to it. It's super good. Eating healthy doesn't mean you have to sacrifice flavor or fun. So give this recipe a try and let me know.
Di lang natin napansin, pero 2025 na pala. So, Happy New Year, guys. Perfect time to try out the recipes. Super healthy. We had so much fun during the holidays. Maybe now it's time to, still have fun, but be more healthy, more responsible.
Exactly.
Happy New Year! Nakapatong na sa akin eh. Pabigat ng pabigat.
Explain eh.
Oh, yeah.
Nababay na.
Joke lang.